How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today I'm going to test out this MOVA P10 Pro Ultra Robotic Vacuum. MOVA is a pretty new brand. They started in 2024. MOVA sells other products such as floor care products, personal grooming products, kitchen essential products, and even outdoor tools. This would be considered a budget model at under $500. But if you look at the features, it's very close to the flagship models of some brands. For example, 13,000 pascals of suction power, which is kind of like in the mid tier. But in my experience, anything at this level or higher performs relatively well. There's a LiDAR module at the top, and some of the more expensive one would retract itself so that it's flush with the robot, so that it's kind of like a little lower profile so it can get under furniture. Sometimes these features makes it marginally better, and yet it increases the price by a lot. So if you have a home and you know the clearance is not that low, you can use this one and it will perform just as well. Dual spin mops, center brush, and also a side brush. All of these would retract into itself depending on what it's doing. For example, if it's vacuuming up pieces of dry rice on the floor, if this little spinny thing hits it, it's gonna toss it all over the floor. So if it detects there's large particles on a flat floor, it will retract the side brush. If it's mopping, you don't want the middle brush or the side brush to touch the wet mess. So these two would retract. If it's vacuuming on the carpet, you don't want the wet mops to touch your carpet. So these guys would retract in that case. All of these are individually retractable, which is seen in much more expensive vacuum cleaners. In the base station, let's open this up. There is also a spot for cleaning solution, which is usually in more expensive robotic vacuums as well. It checks off all the more advanced features such as auto empties into the vacuum bag. It automatically washes your mop with 70°C hot water, and it also has hot air drying so your mops won't get moldy. There's a slight twist with the mop washing over here. I'll pull it out. There's this mechanism in the middle where it'll use the mops to spin this little wheel in the middle, and it's gonna turn these little squeegee things. You can see back here, I think it's supposed to go this way. And what that does is any kind of debris that's left over in this area, it's gonna squeegee all of that and push it towards the center. A nice little twist for the self-cleaning. Some robots have dual cleaning solution. That's a nice to have, but not absolutely necessary. What's absolutely necessary is to have at least one kind of cleaning solution so that your floor does not get sticky when it cleans up something oily, and that's always going to happen. Some of the most expensive robotic vacuums are starting to have bagless technology. This one is still using a bag, but that's an acceptable trade-off if you're paying like 1/3 the price. On top of that, it has this AI action thing in the front. It's just a camera that will do AI image recognition of 120 or more items. With it identified, then it can take various actions such as routing around it. The true test, of course, is will it mop up stuff or vacuum without any kind of intervention, and will it do a good job on those floors? Let's do some of these tests and then we can come back and see if it's actually that good. Remove the cover for the vacuum bags. Take out the cleaning solution over here. It comes with the multi-surface floor cleaner, just a small bottle to get you started. Open this up, open up the floor cleaner, and you pretty much just dump the whole thing in there. And the solution holder can hold 2 of these bottles or 400 ml. There's a little nozzle right here, 2 contact points. Put the cleaning solution back in. Notice the front cover has this rubber seal all around it. The suction fan is right here, and you can actually remove this screen to wash it if you want to. Replace the front cover, and we're good to go. I'm gonna run it one time with maximum water use, and if there's anything left over, I'm gonna run it again. Just to manage expectations, if the robot goes in this corner, I'm gonna remove the mop to show you guys. Even if it's able to push this all the way to the corner, there's this part in the corner that this mop cannot get to still. This is not a problem of MOVA robots, but rather all robots that uses the dual spin mops will have the same issue. First, we'll do a mop test with ketchup. Put some on the corners and the edges. It only mopped about 2 minutes. The mops are the spinning mops type, so it needs to go back to the base station to clean itself. This would be considered the first round, and because it's such a big mess, I would mop it multiple times. In the middle over here, there's some streaks left, so I'm not even gonna use my paper towel. There's some in the corner there. There's 2 dots of ketchup that's left over there, and these streaks looks like it's because the mop was saturated with ketchup already. There's also a little bit left in the corner here and a dot right there. So let me run it again. It looks much cleaner now. I'm going to use the paper towel test, or touch it with my hands first. It's a little bit wet because I used the highest flow rate. Just kind of wipe in the middle first. It's moist and there is a little bit of residue. You can see a little bit of red in here. There's a little bit in the corner on the edge, but those 2 dots that was there before is gone. The smearing over here is gone because the mop has been washed and it's not saturated by the time it gets over here. And on the left corner here is a little bit cleaner, but it's not 100%. I'm gonna run it one last time and that will be the final.
Start charging. Start cleaning mop pad. Task completed. Please empty the used water tank timely. Start dehydrating mop pads.
The robot has been dehydrating the mops for about an hour now, so it has sufficient time to warm up everything. We see that kind of towards the back. It's 86 degrees from the outside. Remove the robot and the hot air is still coming out. It's around 113 degrees down in the center. It's kind of like warm all over inside. And underneath on the robot, the centerpiece is 94 degrees. There's a little hot spot, 86 degrees. And kind of surrounding it is also 86. To the touch is already fairly dried. And you can kind of see it in the camera that it is dry. But it's likely going to run this for a little bit longer to completely dry it out. It's finished 3 times of very intensive mopping with the highest flow rate. There's still some ketchup left on the corners and edges. I'm going to pick it up with the same paper towel. Right here, and also right here. It's not perfect. There's a little bit of leftover in the corners. But when you touch it, it does not feel sticky because of the cleaning solution. Pay attention to the spin mop on the right side. It's extended outwards towards the edge, and when it reaches the corner, it will retract the mop, extend the mop back out again to clean the corners, and then it will keep on going cleaning the edges. Next, we'll do a vacuuming test and see how well it picks up these paper shreds as well as pet hair. I'm just going to spread this all over the place, including over there. Your carpet probably should never look like this. It's just crazy. Typically for pet hair, you're not going to be able to see it on the carpet because it's spread out so evenly. I'm going to make it so it's a really, really terrible case where I'm just kind of rubbing it in, but I'm going to leave it a little bit clumpy so we can see it better on the camera. At the same time, rub it in really well so that it's stuck. All right, now we can begin. It's finished. There's 1 piece right here, 1 little piece here, 2 little piece, 1 big piece, 1 little piece, 1 piece there, and some left on the edge over here. But that's all there is, so it's actually pretty good. In terms of pet hair that's left over, there's a few hairs left here and there, but not much. I'll put these back and run it again. It's roughly right there, and we'll see if it picks up all these leftovers. As expected, a second time around, it picked up the remaining debris. Even robots costing over $1,000 would still leave behind a few pieces after the first round. Watch very closely. The robot has finished mopping, and as it turns, it's lifting those mops by about 10 millimeters so that it won't touch the carpet when it moves onto it. When it's trying to get on my carpet, it had to wiggle left and right a little bit. Eventually, it did get itself over, and the mops are just ever so slightly above the carpet, just barely hovering right over it. If you compare the performance to high-end models, of course, it's not gonna do as well. It can clean up like about 95% as well, and you pay a lot for that last 5%. And it's not even the last 5% because even the very best models, it might only clean maybe like 99% of the floor. So if you know your furniture is not that low, you don't need this to go in and out, you're okay with vacuum bags, this is actually a very good trade-off. Especially if you wait for a sale, it's probably gonna be even cheaper than the price I'm seeing right now. The features in this thing used to be in the high-end flagship models maybe 1 or 2 years ago. Many robotic vacuums add in other fancier things such as higher suction power, maybe like a roller mop rather than the dual spin mops. But all of those are just kind of nice to have. It's not essential in order to mop or vacuum the floor. If you're okay with running it a few more times, which you should not mind because it's a robot after all. Overall, this robotic vacuum is very good for its price. If you guys are interested in this MOVA P10 Pro Ultra, check out my affiliate link down in the video description below. Thanks for watching this video. Until next time.